welcome back to another vlog for Blue Honor. This will be number 2, so as you can see I've kind of fixed the lighting a little bit and I'm going to be talking a little bit louder, and Sadie will still be barking in the background. I don't seem to be able to stop that. It's okay, that's what dogs do, right? Alright, so let's get started. I wanted to talk today about Tesla and how he managed to get into my book. Tesla, as you know, was a pretty forward-thinking scientist, and even though Trilokia is listed under fantasy, I still like to call it science fiction / fantasy. It is a crossover. It uses paranormal and horror. It does historical work as well. So Tesla is quoted at the start of the book. If you open up the first page, you'll see a quote from him, and I can read that to you. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And what that's supposed to make you think about is in spirituality, which was really big during Tesla's time, is about the resonation of energies and how energy doesn't die, energy continues on, energy is through everything. Just follow the energy trail, really. So Tesla, his theories and stuff are kind of, they're underneath the layers of the story. If you read it, it brings in spirituality, Hinduism, Buddhism, philosophies, and different things like that, that kind of talk about that sort of turn of the 20th century, 1900s spirituality that I like to call it space shit, which is really kind of exciting, actually, if you think about it, because there's so much about the universe that we don't know. So it was all that unknown and theory stuff that I really kind of leaned on and dragged in theology and all of that stuff to kind of inform it, because paranormal really is just science stuff that hasn't been explained yet, whether it's a very simple, anomalies, light anomalies, whatever you want to call it. But it is something people are experiencing, whether it's a psychological thing, it is a ghost. Oh my God, it's a ghost. What if? Or, some kind of light play or an electrical field that's, messing with your cognition. And these things are possible. I mean, we've studied them in labs. So let's not shut it all down, because when we shut it down, we cease to learn. So that's it about Tesla. I did have a reader ask me about a couple of things. So first question, how did you feel shifting from Opdeck and Blue Honor, which are historical novels, to this new trilogy, which is science fiction fantasy? Are you finding it more or less difficult and interesting? Shifting was no problem for me. This book has been kind of floating around in my head this whole time, and I really didn't want to put it down on paper until I knew where I wanted to go with it, that the time was right for it. And Blue was a paper that I had written at the end of my bachelor's degree. It was supposed to marry my historical studies with my English studies, which it did beautifully. And I remember Professor McPherson saying, I wish I could give you a letter grade because I would give you an A+ on this, but, he couldn't. I had done it satisfactory and unsatisfactory, because it was just the final culmination product, and that was that. Opdeck was more of an adventure, an homage to film noir, which is one of my favorite dramas. My favorite films. And a lot of the stuff that I did in Blue and Op will show in Trilokia. So it's not like there was a lot of shifting. It's, of course, genres have, this is this, historical novels take place during historical settings. And science fiction and fantasy have parameters that are supposed to be met. And it does that, but it doesn't mean that in Tetralogy I can't do historical. When you read the first book, Dominic has to go back to Earth after having come back. You don't know when his last incarnation was, but they shift back and forth. So he was in a lull when she was watching Lena, and Lena is alive in the 1960s. So that's historical, right? Historical fiction. Although they kind of move that slider about when historical fiction counts. Some people are trying to push for the 1980s to count because it's, what, now 40 years later? Almost. And we're still not counting it as historical. It's like, I know that most of us were alive during that time, and we're going to have to just accept it's getting to be historical. The Reagan era is history. And I definitely find it interesting. I have a lot of different things that I can do, and I can talk about all the stuff that really interests me. And I'm, as you can see, a little bit of a geek here. And I love Wolverine and Captain America and everything. You may have seen the shield, which is up there in one of my pictures. And behind me over here is my enormous collection of DVDs, and that's a Doctor Who K9 in a box still. And actually, right there is K9. So it's all that geekery stuff, and I love it. I love it, and I love talking about philosophy and just all the things that are still unknown to us. And let's not shut that door, because we don't want to believe in ghosts, we don't want to believe in God, we don't want to believe in angels, we don't want to believe in demons. It's all hokey pokey. No, let's explore this, because humanity doesn't tell stories for no reason. So there's a reason that these are being told, that the Bible exists. It's like the best fantasy novel ever written, right? So there's something behind that, and as we explore, we are explorers. Let's continue to explore, because that's interesting, and that gives us more stuff to write about, and that's history. So until next time, thank you for being with me on the Blue Honor vlog. Thanks.